Hi everybody, Armored Pants here, and I have a new review for you of the premium tank which is just in the store. Loza's Sherman, the Tier 6 Russian premium tank. Yes, Russian. It is a Russian Sherman given to the Russians under the Lend-Lease program during World War II. Now, we're going to have a look at the tech spec in-game, not actually on blitzhanger.com, which I usually use because it's so new, it's not actually on Blitzhanger yet. But I'm sure that it will come, of course. Now, let's have a look at the tank. It has 76mm gun, as you would expect. Its armor-piercing rounds to 128mm of pen, high explosive 20 and 177 on the APCR. It carries lots of shells, so you don't need to worry about loading out. You can carry as much AP, APCR, HE as you like. The HE rounds will go through Nash horns, etc., and you will actually see that in the gameplay we're going to look at. Turret armor, it has 63mm of armor, front, sides, and rear. It has decent traverse speed, 50.3 degrees, 50.4 degrees actually, so pretty good, and you actually see that in the game too, so it's able to move around, which is great for Circle of Death or for brawling. You see a couple of brawls in this as well. In terms of the front armor, it's 63mm as well. But on the sides and rear, it's only 38mm, so you need to be aware of that. You will be penned quite easily, even with some HE rounds from tanks with bigger guns. So you need to be aware of that. So overall, there is nothing spectacular about this. Really, it's what you would expect. It fires almost 14 rounds a minute though, so it has a very fast reload, which you'll see in the game as well. It's 4.6 seconds, so you're able to pump out lots of rounds. Now let's take a look at this. Here it is in the store, so we're going to buy it. A little tip for you: buy it without the equipment. Spend 7,000 instead of 8,000. Why? Well, if you've got the credits, you can earn those credits back. You cannot earn the gold back, unless you're one of those people who's lucky enough to be able to earn gold from watching videos, but most of us are not. So therefore I would buy it without the equipment and load up the equipment yourself. So here it is. Strangely enough, you don't get the camo with it, you just get the number on the tank. So it's not actually you don't actually get the historic camo that Loza, that Dmitry Fedorovich Loza, hero of the Soviet Union, Russian tank commander, actually had. So I'm going to load it down using one of the premium camos, so that it actually looks something similar to what it would have looked like historically. Historically, this is an interesting tank. It is a tank which existed. As I said, it was commanded by Dmitry Fedorovich Loza, who was a Russian tank commander. He fought valiantly in the Battle for Vienna, and again later in the Manchurian campaign against the Japanese before the end of the war. And for his part in the Vienna offensive, he was ordered he won the Hero of the Soviet Union medal. So historically, it's a very interesting tank. Let's have a look at it now in gameplay. So for those of you who are interested in history, for those of you who are interested in tanks, it is something nice to have in your garage, right? The major problem with this tank, it's at its purchase price, which is around 23-24 euros, which is actually reasonable enough. I think it's a bit expensive for what it is, but that's a personal opinion. It's certainly a lot cheaper than some of the crap that Wargaming have been trying to push onto us recently. Ridiculously priced tanks of 50, 60, 70, 80 euros, right? Mental stuff. However, my major problem with this tank is that it has a direct comparison, right? It is directly comparable to the Fury, which is also a Tier 6 premium tank. And that's why this tank falls short, because it is an inferior version of the Fury. Its main drawback compared to the Fury is that this Russian tank lacks the Ford power unit, the Ford engine, which made the Fury which makes the Fury in the game so fast and so agile. This thing has a much inferior power unit, and you will see in the game that it's sluggish from a standstill. And I can tell you from having played now about 10 games, when you're going up a hill in this thing, it actually almost stops sometimes. It feels like it's covered in treacle. It's a real treacle tracks. And if you are going up a hill and the enemy gets a bead on you, you are going to be on target for a very, very long time. So that, therefore, I think that this is a very big drawback on this tank. I think that this is its problem. It has a direct comparison, and it's inferior to that direct comparison, right? And therefore, I think it's always going to come up short. So, if you don't have the Fury, of course, then this is something which could be of great interest to you. If you do have the Fury, you might just want to get it anyway to have an additional tank in your garage. But I do have to warn you that it is inferior to the Fury in its gameplay, its speed, its agility, its nimbleness around the map, etc. And if you have the Fury, then you will notice that quite apparently within the game when you're playing. So that is its major drawback. It's an inferior version of the Fury, and of course the Fury is directly comparable to it. But that aside, the tank is quite okay. It's fun to play. I enjoyed playing it. It's good for all the things you would associate with a medium. It's decent at circle of death. It's fast on a flat surface, but as I said, going uphill, it's dreadful. It's not a bad tank in itself. But again, I come back to the point that Wargaming have made it directly comparable. Oh, cheers, mate. That's good, and some free advertising there. That's the E100 review I just posted on the channel, if you want to have a look at that. There's a mastery game. Actually, it's a double mastery game. There's actually a mastery for the E100 I was driving and a mastery for the M60 Patton in it as well. So very good double mastery game at tier 10 if you want to check that out. Why not check it out when you finish watching this? So yeah, anyway, as I was saying, going back to this tank, it's inferior and it has a direct comparison on Wargaming. By making it directly comparable to the Fury, actually is highlighting its own weaknesses, because they become very, very obvious, because it's almost exactly the same tank. It's a Sherman. It's in tier 6 as well, and it's also a premium tank. So yeah, there you go. But of course, it's up to you to make your own minds up. This guy almost gets me blasted here by driving straight into me. Thanks, mate. But it is an interesting tank, certainly historically, and like the Fury itself, which is in the movie. Something that may be of interest to tank lovers, tank collectors, people who have an historic interest in tanks. So of course, it belonged to a historic person, and a tank commander who was a hero of the Soviet Union. So, as you saw there, the tank plays as you would expect from a tier 6 medium. But there is nothing spectacular about it. In this game here on Faust, you'll actually see a very interesting brawl coming up where I take on 2 heavies, and actually I managed to win. So the tank is reliable in that respect. You'll see here as I accelerate up, it moves and feels as a Sherman would. But you will notice going up hills it slows down rapidly, because it really is lacking that power unit. And this is a big drawback for it, because as I said, if you're going up a steep hill, so let's say for example you're playing Bayat Ruins or something like that, and it's a long hill, you will be on target for the enemy for quite a long time. And if something like a KV2 gets a beat on you, he has a lot of time to aim that big HE round and to take you out in one shot. So just be aware of that. Now here, let's see the tank in action, taking on this little leopard here. The gun's pretty good. One of the things I would say about the gun is, though, here it's accurate. You see here I track him, and I track him again, so he's not going anywhere. And then easy kill shot for me. Take him out, hit him in the tracks again. One of the things, though, is that the gun lacks a bit of muzzle velocity. I don't know what the exact muzzle velocity is, but I'd say it's around 800 meters per second, looking at the trajectory and direction of the shells that I fired. And so if you're firing across a map, you will see that it loses a lot of pen as it goes, and it's slow crossing long distances, so just be aware of that too. Now here you'll see I actually come in on both of these guys. They turn around to take me on, so I actually get smashed there by that guy. I wouldn't go back far enough, so I take on this guy. I'm coming into I'm going to go and challenge him, but then the KVIS comes to take me on as well. and I end up getting a bit of a muddle here. So you see, I thought I was going to have a nice easy one on this guy, but the other guy comes in and smashes me. I get smashed again. Then when he tracks me, I do bounce a shot. Now I just want to try to put the SU in between me and the other guy, which I'm kind of managing to do a little bit. See what I mean here though? The tank is sluggish. The Fury would move a lot faster around that target. Now I'm going to use the corpse of the SU to try and hide myself a bit. Going around into him. And I'm going to come back around here now, put another one into him down the back. Missed that shot, fluff it. Oh, he's coming now. You'll see where the sluggishness of the tank comes in. I could not get around the SU's Hulk as quickly as I thought I would, and maybe that's my own fault from playing the Fury a couple of games before, because the Fury would accelerate a lot quicker than that because it has that great power unit which this lacks. So again, that is a drawback of this tank, and I know I've mentioned it now several times, but you know, when you have something which is directly comparable, then it always lends itself to those comparisons, unfortunately. So there you go. I think that was a decent game of that tank. You know, I mean, it was able to hold its own in that brawl. Came out on top, although I was hanging on for dear life there at the end. But you saw the sluggishness of the tank let me down there a bit, and I wasn't able to get around that SU Hulk, and I took that round from the KV-1S. But overall, look, I know I've said it's not as good as the Fury, but leave aside the Fury, the tank is not so bad at all. It's a decent enough tier 6 premium tank, but you know, that lack of power in the engine, lack of muscle velocity, I think is a weakness. Anyway, let's recap on the key points of this tank. Historically, very interesting tank, I have to say. Hero of the Soviet Union, Dmitry Fedorovich Loza, so he's got his tank number there, so it's something interesting. But it's somewhat uninteresting in Blitz because it's just a poorer version of the Fury, unfortunately. The 76mm gun, though, it does have a great rate of fire, as you saw. It's 4.6 seconds, so you're able to pump out the rounds. So if you get killed, it definitely won't be for a lack of shooting back, but relatively low alpha rolls. And as I said, it has poor muzzle velocity. Yeah, if you're firing a lot across long distances, you'll notice that. The poor power unit, it lacks the forward engine of the Fury, and you notice it, as I said, especially going up hills. It's flat on fast surfaces. Dreadful uphill, really is dreadful. I actually thought, the first time I played it and I was going up a hill, I actually thought I'd lost Wi-Fi connectivity. I thought that the tank had actually stopped, but it was actually just the engine. For €23, I think it is a bit expensive, a little bit expensive, you know, but it's certainly better than some of the crazy offers out there that we've had in the last few months from More Gaming. And let's not even talk about that Christmas event. Buy it for 7,000, not 8,000, because you can earn the credits back, but not the gold. So if you have the credits to equip it, then just buy it for the 7,000. It's a better package, I believe, in my opinion. And you can always earn those credits back, and as it's a premium tank, it will earn them back for you. So therefore, save your 1,000 gold and buy it with the credits. Fury is a far superior tank, I have to say. Or actually, the tech line versions of the tank of the Sherman are better too. So, but nonetheless, if you are interested historically, get it. If not, save your money and wait for the Fury to come back. Okay, take care. Hope you enjoyed it. Pants out.
Поехали. Пробил. Двигатель поврежден. Максимальная скорость снижена. Пробитие. Есть пробитие. Готов. Пробитие. Пробил. Пробил. Пробитие. Готов.